Welcome to the Page by Page Project. I will be your host for this series. The Page by Page Project is my attempt to get books that I physically own and have not read that are currently taking space on my shelves to books that I physically own and have read. Currently, I have 146 books that I have not read that are sitting on my shelves. That is 146 too many, and I would like to get that number extremely down in the next year, over the course of 2025. So, today's video is me going through and picking 25 books that I must read in 2025. If they are not read by the end of next year, they are immediately getting unhauled. A lot of these books have been on my shelves since 2020, 2021. I started seriously collecting books in 2019 when I was a freshman undergrad. And over the course of collecting books and getting back into reading as an adult, I have learned what I like and dislike about books. My taste has greatly changed since that time. So a lot of books that I bought then, they're not the ones that I'm gravitating towards now. And that's okay. Taste can change. But I want to make a conscious effort to be picking the books on my shelves before going out and buying new books. That is not saying I'm going on a book ban. I am not going on a book ban. I'm not going on a purchasing ban. I am still able to buy books throughout 2025, but I want to make the conscious effort to look at my shelves first. That being said, these are 25 randomly chosen books that I need to either finish or get rid of by the end of 2025. Preferably, I want to give all of these books at least a chance. I can DNF. I can decide that I'm not going to finish a book and that it's not for me, and then donate it so that someone who's actually going to appreciate the book gets it instead. That is a perfectly reasonable outcome for this list. Preferably, I would love to accidentally find a favorite within these books. Now, how are we choosing the 25 books? Since we are at the end of the year and we have a bit of a Christmassy theme going on, I decided to take every book on my TBR and put them in a stocking. The only time that I will not be choosing a book that the stocking has decided for us is if I have either already unhauled the book or already read the book. I made these little slips of paper with all of my books on it maybe 2 months ago. So there might be some updates since making the list, but for the most part, it's pretty accurate. Without further ado, let's see what's number one. I'm so nervous. I also don't know what half of these books are about, but it's fine. I'm a big buy based on the cover for reference. Okay. The first book is The Voting Booth. Every time the election comes around, I really want to read this book, but then I just kind of forget about it, so hopefully putting it on here will actually make me prioritize it. It is their first election day. It is between a girl who cannot wait to vote and make a difference in the world, and a boy who just wants to get voting over with. However, when he gets to the polling place, he's not registered to vote, or they're denying him the right to vote. That sends the both of them in a whirlwind where they're running around to different polling places, trying to just get him the ability to vote. And through that, they fall in love. Book number 2. Okay. Book number 2 is Rescued by the one and only David Rosenfeld. This is probably the easiest book to add on to here. I am currently trying to work my way through all of David Rosenfeld's backlist. This is one of them. I feel like I'm going to end up talking about this series in every video based on how things are going, but Andy Carpenter is a defense attorney who wants to be retired but keeps getting sucked into cases. This is a lawyer mystery that is set actually in a courthouse. You get all the cases. You get to hear the witness statements and see how the case unravels that way. It is such a good series. It is so fun and lighthearted while also being really meaningful at times, and at this point it's just such a comfort series for me. This is starting out really strong. This list is starting out strong, which is really scaring me. Book number 3. Oh my god. I do think it's really funny that you're getting my reactions to these books before knowing what book it is. The third book is Kiss Her Once for Me. I completely forgot I had this book. I went through all my shelves before this picking out Christmas books, and I completely missed this one. This is why this challenge is important. The Kiss Her Once for Me is a Christmas romance in which a woman fakes an engagement with her landlord only to fall for his sister. And what a concept. I love that. I can't believe I forgot about that book. This challenge actually might be a lot more useful than I thought. I was really afraid because I have a lot of books that I really just, going through the same list over and over again, I really don't know what I have. So focusing on 25 is really going to help. I don't know what book this is. Oh, I'm excited for this one. The fourth book is The Factory by Hiroku Oyamada. This is a Japanese translation. I love Japanese translated works of art literature. Truly, every translated Japanese book that I have read has been absolutely beautifully written. I just enjoy them so much, and I can't believe that I still haven't read this book. It's been on my shelves for only the past year, but it's one that I'm really, really excited for. I don't know much going into it. I really like going into them blind, but I do know that this one is following 3 workers at a industrial factory. We're only like 1/5 of the way, but that's fine. Oh my god. Book number 5 is The Maidens, and I cannot wait for this book. I read The Silent Patient in 2021, I believe, and I listened to the audiobook in one sitting at work one day, and I could not stop listening to it. I was hooked the entire time. I really wanted to read The Maidens right now just because I just got a copy available through the library audiobook through Libby. But I'm currently reading another book right now that's about a secret society, and I do know, the only thing I know about this book, because I saw another booktuber talking about it, is that it's following a secret society at a university. So I didn't want to have 2 of those at the same time. But I am so excited for this book. I'm loving this list so far. Book number 6. Oh, okay. Huh. Oh, I'm excited. I might have not seemed excited, but I am excited about this. I hope this list reflects how eclectic my bookshelves are. The 6th book is Almost American Girl, and this is a graphic novel memoir. And while I have read graphic novels and I've read memoirs, I've never read a book that was both at the same time, and I really can't wait to see the author's depiction of herself throughout life and get to see her own drawings with telling her story. I don't know how to describe it. Book number 7 is Reaching for the Moon by Katherine Johnson. It is her autobiography, and the amount of admiration I have for Katherine Johnson cannot be overstated. I am in awe of her. Katherine Johnson is a famous mathematician that worked at NASA, and she worked as a computer for the Apollo 11 mission, which landed the first men on the moon. She is absolutely brilliant. She paved the way so much for women in STEM and for Black women in STEM in particular. I'm so glad that this one ended up on the list. I'm really happy with this list so far. I was a little nervous when the voting booth turned out number 1, but just because that seems like a younger YA than what I read, but I'm still really, really excited for this list. Okay. It's getting hot. Book number 8 is The Family Game. I have been looking at this book for the last 2 months. I really want to listen to the audiobook of it, and I keep looking on Libby, but the hold just keeps being too long for it. So I'm actually really interested in this book. I expect to read this early in the year, but once again, this list is actually really forming out nicely, and I can't wait for this one. Ooh, nice. Book number 9 is Ladies' Lunch and Other Stories. I got this book the first time I went to the UK. I went around London and just went to a bunch of different bookstores. I bought this in Waterstones purely based off the cover and the vibes. And I don't have much experience reading short stories. I get a little hesitant about short story collections just because I feel like, from what I've read, there are some amazing gems in there. But then I feel like the rest of the book is just filler and it doesn't really reach the same potential and the same standard as the absolutely out of the park ones. But I'm really hoping that this one changes that thinking of mine. Just from what I remember of it is that it's these women who go to lunch every week together and they tell these stories, and that's what these are. Oh, that's a good one. Number 10 is Legendary, which is the second book of the Caraval series. I want to make it a point next year to get further into series that I have started, or just try to finish up some series. I really do love reading series, and I really rediscovered that this year, but there's a lot that I have started and have not finished, so I really want to make that a goal. But 2025 is the year to finish this series. I do know that this author, Stephanie Garber, does have some other series that everyone keeps telling me to read. I think it's the Once Upon a Broken Heart series. Something like that. I might have gotten the title wrong. I don't know if you can read them in different orders or if you could go back and forth, but I do want to finish the Caraval series. And the cover is so beautiful. I don't know why. Book 11. Oh! Oh, it had to give us a hard one. We couldn't keep being easy. My fiance is gonna love that I have to read this, but I am so scared. Book 11 on my 25 and 25 is A Game of Thrones. Now, for context on why I'm scared of this book, the first book in this series, A Game of Thrones, is 835 pages. I also bought this book at the airport while waiting to come back home. Oh, I'm staring at it. I know exactly where it is on my shelves because I'm so scared every time I see this book. I bought it after I watched the first 3 episodes of the series, maybe with my fiance. I fell asleep through the first 2 episodes. I enjoyed it. I was so tired and there was a lot going on. My brain just kind of fell asleep. This is such a beloved series and book, and okay, 2025. We'll get through it. Oh god, 835 pages. It's okay. We got this. Book 12. Please be nicer to me. Please, please, please. I feel like I always watch booktubers do their TBR games, and they always are begging the TBR game to be nice to them. And I always thought that was funny, but it's just random chance. No, please. The stocking needs to be nicer to me. Okay. Why? I will say that this is a book I plan to read next year anyway, but the fact that I just got it after Game of Thrones, it's really playing with me right now. Book number 12 for a whopping 750 pages, A Court of Silver Flames. I have attempted to read this book 3 times. I think it's the length that's throwing me off. I honestly think I need to just put it on my Kindle and not look at the sheer mountain that this book is. I also know exactly where that one is. It's sitting right next to the Game of Thrones one. This book scares me. The fact that I read all of the Agatar series in a month and a half, and I still have not read A Court of Silver Flames, and it came out, 2 years ago? 3 years ago? Oh my god. So it's going on published for 4 years before I read it. I think it's time. I just think that the timing after the 800-page book is a little cruel, but it's okay. I don't think I have any other big books, so maybe it'll be nice to me. I see a couple big books. I think I DNF those, though. I just need to take them off my shelves. I'm a little scared. Oh! Nice. Book number 13 is Fix Her Up. I have never read a Tessa Bailey book, but this cover is really cute. I have had this book since it came out in 2019, and I have not read it yet. It's about a home renovation business and a retired or injured baseball player who is flipping houses. So, carpenters. That should be fun. I'm excited. Book number 14 is Yes, No, Maybe. The only thing I know about this book is that it is a YA romance. Now, I could be wrong, but based on this being a Becky Albertalli book, from what I have read and what I understand about this author, is that this is more a lower YA book. Now, when I say that, I mean that I do read a lot of YA, but I find that YA, specifically set in high school, is too young for me. And YA is such a wide age range. Some of it is just not for me, and I'm not the audience, and that is fine. This book does seem fun. It is about two people going door to door, from what I could tell, and asking people for votes for the state Senate candidate. We have 2 YA voting romances. That's really interesting. So, I'm excited to try it, but if it doesn't work, and the same with the voting booth, if it doesn't work just because it is the wrong type of YA book, that's okay. And I could easily donate it so that it goes to the right audience. Oh no, I have to put another David Rosenfeld on here. Darn. I do want to see when this was published, though. I have thoughts. Book number 15 is Outfoxed by David Rosenfeld. This is another Andy Carpenter mystery. I'm actually really surprised because I only have about 5 David Rosenfelds in 146 books, and we've had 2 come out. Outfoxed is from 2016, and the only thing I notice when I go through the backlist of David Rosenfeld is that you could really tell how his writing style has developed from the first couple books in the series to where it is now. This is number 14, so it should be fine. It was more of like when I read, I think it was like book number 3. That one was a little tough to get through just because it was one of his first books and you could really tell that it was one of his first books. But I'm very excited. I'll read David Rosenfeld every day of the year, so more the merrier. Thank you for being kind after the Game of Thrones Silver Flames fiasco. I'm scared. Oh, I'm excited, but I'm so scared. Okay. This is so beloved. This is really getting a lot of books that I've feared off of my TBR. Book number 16 is Red Rising. This is the start of a dystopian science fiction series. From what I could tell, the final book in the series, Red God, is coming out in 2025. So this might be a good chance to actually start the series. I do get a little hesitant about starting series when not all the books are out, just because I like to binge series a lot. And obviously, I don't like to binge, say, 6 books of this series and then have to wait a year for the 7th to come out, because then I feel like my memory's not as sharp as if I just read the whole thing at once. I'm excited to try the series. I don't know how I'll feel about it. I don't know much about it. I just know that it's absolutely beloved, and I don't read too much sci-fi, but I am excited to try. Oh, that's interesting. Alright, how do I put this on here? The 17th book is The Hammer of Thor, which is the second book in the Magnus Chase series by Rick Riordan, who wrote Percy Jackson I was a little conflicted on how to put this on the 25 and 25 because this is the second book of the series, but I have not read the first. And unlike the David Rosenfeld series, where I just read them out of order and it is fine, you cannot do that with anything written by Rick Riordan. I like reading them in order. This is a middle grade book, so I know once I start the series, I'll kind of fly through it. So I'm just going to add the second book, and I know that I have to read the first one as well this year. I guess it'll be a bonus 26th book, but we're not going to count it. Unless it comes up, then it'll make my life a lot easier. But if not, maybe at some point this year I'll have a video reading all three in the week or so. Ooh! Oh, we have another graphic novel. That's fun. I wanted to read more graphic novels. Book number 18 is The Magic Fish. This is a graphic novel that I've had on my shelves for quite a while. This is about a boy who is struggling to tell his parents, who do not speak English or who are greatly struggling with their English, that he is gay. And this is a illustrated story that he tries to navigate his life through fairy tales to explain to his parents that he's gay. I'm very excited about this one. Number 19. We're getting there. We have 6 left. Did I DNF this book? That's just that seems to be the game of this, is did I DNF this book? I did not. Oh, I should have. Well, alright. Book number 19 is Serpent and Dove, which is another start to a series. This is a fantasy series that I know nothing about. It is a romantasy, and it is 528 pages. I am not too excited about this one. I really don't know what it is, so I can't really say that I'm not excited about it. It's just the cover is... I don't really like the cover, and the cover is so big to me. I do see that my friends on Storygraph have loved this book. 2 of my friends have given it 5 stars. Wait a second. This book is about a witch and a huntsman that have to get married? This sounds so cool. Wait. It needs a better cover. The cover is very pretty, but I don't think it's selling the book. Oh, okay, I know I did not DNF this. Oh my god, another series? That's crazy. I was actually just talking to my friend about this book. Book number 20 is Guild. Guild is part of the Plated Prisoner series. And I believe it's a Midas retelling. It is about King Midas. You touch something, it turns to gold. That guy. I don't know what this is about. I bought it because a friend told me to. And then it's been 2 years and I haven't read it yet. But I just talked to a different friend about that this week. So it seems like it's in the cards for me to read that. And now it's on this list. So it seems like 2025 is the year to start different series. Even though I said about 5 minutes ago that I need to complete the series that I've already started. But you know what? It's not up to me. It's up to the Christmas stocking. Next. Oh, I know this book. Wait, did I DNF this? It is on here, but I know why I stopped reading this book. Alright, book number 21 is The Plot is Murder. I love cozy mysteries. I have a sticker on my Kindle that says Cozy Mystery Girly. I love cozy mysteries. My issue with this book, and I did attempt to read it once, and I got about 5 minutes into it and stopped. I tried the audiobook, and the audiobook really didn't work for me for this one. I'm gonna have to physically read it, which is fine. It was available on Libby and I wanted to try it. I don't particularly remember why it was an issue, the audiobook. I don't know. I don't remember if it was like I didn't hit it off with the narrator or something, but I think it was just too much happening right away and I just got confused. So I'm excited to give this another chance, and this is also a series, but I would love to find a cozy mystery series. Number 22. I don't like that this book is on here for one very particular reason. Book number 22 is The Scarlet Letter. I have about 3 or 4 classics on my physical TBR. I think 3 out of 4 of them I have already read in school, but these are just books that I want to read on my own rather than it being a school assignment. And I want to just re-experience the story now that I am out of high school with required reading. The reason I don't like this being on this list is because it feels like it goes back to required reading. I would have preferred that there was no classics on this list. It's not my favorite genre. And that's really just because it just brings me back to being forced to read those books when I wanted to be reading anything else. But now it's my choice. The stocking has decided that this will be in 2025, but at least I get to decide when in 2025. So it's still my choice. I will tell myself at great lengths. Ooh. What book is this? I feel like I've never heard of this book. Oh my god, that's amazing. Remember when I said that there might be a video that comes out with me reading all 3 of the Magnus Chase series? Well, book number 23 is The Ship of the Dead, which is Magnus Chase number 3. I am now required to read the 2nd and 3rd books of this series, which means that I will definitely be reading book number 1, and that video will probably be coming out sometime next year. That's great. That makes my life so much easier. You know what? Me and the stocking were on a little thin ice for a while, but we're doing okay. We're pretty much doing okay. And we're getting less and less papers in this thing, so at least that's a benefit. Oh, this is interesting. Book number 24 is Exposure, which is about the poisoned water lawsuit with DuPont. I bought this book after I watched Dark Waters with Mark Ruffalo in it. It's about this case, and it's based on this book. And I absolutely love that movie. It's so good. I kind of became obsessed with the case, and I just wanted to learn so much more about it. However, I've had this book for 2 years, and I still haven't read it. I'm still really interested in the case, and I want to know more of the nuances about it. So I'm really excited to try it. I can't wait to actually read it. And I'm actually very excited that it is on this list because at least it will force me to get through it. This is our last book. That's a little crazy. Oh, this is such a good one to end on. I'm so excited. Book number 25, our final book for this challenge, is The Cat Who Saved Books. I am so excited to read this. This is another translated work. And apparently it's a series. I didn't know that when I bought it. But this cover is so cool, and the premise sounds so good. It's about this high school student goes to the secondhand bookstore, and a talking cat appears. And it's about the teenager helping this cat save books by liberating them from their neglectful owners. I feel like one of the neglectful owners after this video, after making this list, so truly, this is the perfect book for me to end on. I am working to liberate myself from the neglectfulness and actually read these books. That's how I'll tie in this whole thing. I'm so excited about this book. Overall, I now have 25 books that I must complete in 2025. Otherwise, anything that does not get read is getting unhauled immediately. I am so excited for this list. I was so scared, and at some points it seemed like that was an accurate emotion that I was supposed to be having. We have 3 books over 500 pages. We have A Game of Thrones and A Court of Silver Flames, which are 2 books that I am definitely scared about. There are a lot of firsts in a series. Those really came at the end. And I really love how eclectic and multi-genre this list is. We didn't have one of too many. It really was an accurate, random representation on my shelves. I'm so excited for the year and to see how I do with completing all of these. So to watch if I actually do this, please like, subscribe, comment below if you've read any of these books and if I should put any on more of a priority. I will be making an update video at the end of next year summarizing this whole experience, and if this goes well, I'll try to do a 26 and 26, but right now we're focused on the 25 and 25. If you were watching up until this point, thank you so much for being here. Please make sure that you subscribe and like this video. Also, follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I am stacking pages over there as well. I am so excited to keep you updated on everything that I'm reading and really just kick off the new year with some really great books.